Imagine this. 85% of single women have reported experiencing stigma just because they live alone. It's a staggering statistic, one that reveals a hidden yet prevalent issue in our society. This is the unseen stigma, an invisible burden that weighs on the shoulders of countless women around the world. So, what is stigma? It's a mark of disgrace, a societal branding that singles out individuals who don't fit into certain norms. But here's the catch. These norms are often outdated, unfounded, and biased. They do not reflect the diverse realities of our modern world, where countless women choose to live alone for myriad reasons: independence, personal growth, career advancement, or simply because they prefer solitude. The unseen stigma takes many forms. It can be societal, where lone women are viewed with suspicion or pity. It can be familial, where relatives question their choices or wonder when they'll settle down. It can be professional, where colleagues make assumptions about their ambition or dedication. And it can be personal, where the women themselves internalize these negative perceptions, leading to self-doubt and lowered self-esteem. The mental and emotional toll this stigma can take on lone women cannot be understated. It's a constant battle, a relentless pressure to conform to societal expectations. It can lead to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and anxiety. It can affect their mental health, their relationships, their careers, and their overall happiness. And yet, these women continue to face each day with a resilience that is both remarkable and inspiring. They challenge the norms, they break the stereotypes, and they pave their own paths. In doing so, they become role models, leading the way for future generations of women to live their lives as they choose, free from the unseen stigma. The life of a lone woman is not easy, and the challenges they face are both numerous and daunting. Our society often paints a picture of lone women as free-spirited, independent, and living life on their own terms. But beneath this glorified surface, there's a labyrinth of challenges that these women navigate every day. One of the most prominent obstacles is societal judgment. There's a deep-rooted stereotype that a woman alone is incomplete, that she's missing something. This idea is perpetuated by media, by cultural norms, and often by the very people who should be supporting these women. The pressure to conform, to fit into the mold of what society deems normal, can be intense. It's a heavy load to bear, and it's one that lone women carry every day. Safety is another concern that looms large. In a world where women are often seen as vulnerable, being alone can heighten this sense of vulnerability. The fear of walking alone at night, the constant need to stay vigilant, the worry that comes with living alone, these are all part and parcel of the lone woman's life. It's a constant battle against fear, against the feeling of being a potential target. Financial struggles are another hurdle. In many parts of the world, women still earn less than men for doing the same job. This wage gap, combined with the cost of living alone, can make financial stability a real challenge for lone women. It's not just about making ends meet. It's about trying to build a secure future in a society that often seems stacked against them. And then there's the feeling of isolation. Humans are social creatures, and the need for companionship is a fundamental part of our nature. For lone women, this need can sometimes go unfulfilled. The solitude that comes with living alone can be liberating, yes, but it can also be lonely. It's a dichotomy that many lone women grapple with, trying to balance their need for independence with their need for connection. All of these challenges amplify the stigma faced by lone women. They make it harder for these women to navigate their lives, to find their place in a world that often seems indifferent to their struggles. But it's important to remember that these are not just challenges. They are battles that these women fight every single day. And every day, they rise to meet these battles head-on, with courage, with resilience, and with a strength that is truly inspiring. These are not just challenges, they are battles that these women fight every single day. The workplace, a space meant for professional growth and opportunities, can often be a battleground for lone women. Imagine this, a place where you're supposed to be judged on your merit, your skills, your dedication, but instead, you're judged on something you have no control over, your status as a lone woman. It's a harsh reality many face, a stigma that's deeply ingrained in our society, seeping into the very fabric of our workplaces. One of the most prevalent forms of this stigma is stereotyping. Lone women are often perceived as vulnerable, emotionally unstable, or even desperate. These stereotypes, built on a foundation of misinformation and bias, can lead to unfair treatment. It's not uncommon for lone women to be passed over for promotions, given less challenging tasks, or even paid less than their counterparts. Discrimination takes many forms. Sometimes it's blatant, like when a lone woman is denied a job opportunity because of unfounded concerns about her ability to balance work and personal life. Other times, it's subtle, like when the office culture subtly promotes a bias against lone women, making them feel unwelcome or undervalued. Then there's marginalization. Lone women can often feel isolated in a workspace that doesn't acknowledge or cater to their needs. It's like they're on the outside looking in, their voice is drowned out by the majority. This can lead to decreased job satisfaction, lower productivity, and a higher turnover rate. But here's the thing. Despite these challenges, despite the stereotypes, the discrimination, and the marginalization, lone women continue to shine. They bring unique perspectives, resilience, and a drive for success that's unmatched. Every day, they prove the stereotypes wrong, shatter the biases, and break down the barriers placed in their way. They are not just surviving in these tough environments, they are thriving, making their mark, and changing the landscape of the workplace for the better. And yet, in the face of adversity, these women continue to strive for success. But what if we told you that these lone women are not just surviving, but they are thriving? Now let's take a turn that you might not have seen coming. Despite the stigma and challenges, many lone women are flourishing, leading fulfilling lives that many might not have expected. We're about to share some inspiring stories that will make you rethink your preconceived notions. Picture this. A woman, let's call her Emily. She's single, living alone in the heart of a bustling city. The world might see her as a lone woman, but she is far from lonely. Emily is a successful entrepreneur, running her own tech startup. She's a self-made woman who believes in her dreams, and she's making them come true, one day at a time. And then we have another woman, Lisa, who chose to be alone after a heart-wrenching divorce. She relocated to a small town, found solace in her solitude, and started a boutique winery. Today, her wines are celebrated globally, and she's found a joy in her solitude that she never knew existed. Let's not forget about Sarah, a single mother who balances her career, her passions, and raising her child with an admirable grace. She's not just surviving, she's thriving. She's empowered, she's independent, and she's making a significant impact in her field. These are just a few examples of the countless lone women who are redefining what it means to be alone. They're not just existing, they're living life to its fullest. They've taken the road less traveled, faced the stigma head-on, and emerged stronger, happier, and more fulfilled. These women are rewriting the narrative, proving that being alone does not equate to being lonely. They're showing the world that they are not victims of their circumstances, but rather, they are the architects of their own lives. They've faced adversity, they've faced the stigma, and they've come out on top. And it's not just about individual success stories. Lone women are making significant contributions to society. They're leaders, innovators, change makers. They're shaping the future and leaving their mark on the world. They're breaking barriers, shattering glass ceilings, and proving that they are not to be underestimated. So the next time you think about lone women, remember these stories. Remember that they are not just surviving the stigma, they're thriving in spite of it. They're not just overcoming the challenges, they're using them as stepping stones to reach new heights. These women are not victims of their circumstances, but rather, they are the masters of their own destinies. They are not just overcoming the stigma, they are shattering it.